Hi, everybody. My name is Marla Neufeld. Welcome to the Surrogacy Space. I am a reproductive attorney in Florida, and today I am joined by the invaluable and wonderful organization of the Jewish Fertility Foundation, otherwise known as JFF. And first, we'll be speaking with the founder, Elana Frank. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I've loved learning about your organization, watching it grow. It's such an important service to people going through the infertility process. And I just wanted to start off to talk about what inspired you to start and create JFF.
Well, like many of us in this space, it is personal. I started my infertility journey, I guess, right after I got married, now almost 16 years ago. My husband and I were going to have a million kids because that's just what you do. And we had just recently made Aliyah, so we moved to Israel.
Okay.
And it wasn't working. I wasn't getting pregnant and I didn't understand why. I went to several doctors. I was also trying to navigate the socialized medicine world, which was new to me. And we did a lot of sketchy things in order to try to have a child, things that I wouldn't wish upon anybody, like doing IUIs in the basement of a doctor's house, a private
Oh gosh.
doctor, month after month, because my aunt told me, who worked in the medical system, that it was okay. And we did that. It was weird looking back now. That is crazy. And ultimately, we found a second opinion, but this took time and years. And it was about a year and a half
Absolutely.
before I got a second opinion that I actually have a diagnosis. My tubes are blocked, but
Hmm.
no doctor had looked at me that deeply to understand that. But one of the benefits of living in Israel was that I was able to do IVF for free. And it didn't go without its own stresses, but I was able to have 3 months later to do IVF with my first child, and then about a year later to do with my second child. And when I came back for my husband's work to America, is when I was shocked. I was sitting in a baby pool at the JCC in Atlanta, where I'm from. And it was really one of the very first times that I ever talked about what I went through. And I was sitting with two old friends because I grew up in Atlanta, and we were comparing like our infertility journeys. And this was just not a language that I spoke about when I was in Israel. I did not, it was private. Like my stresses with my husband and my relationship were private. I didn't know how to talk to my family about all of this.
Right.
But when I came back, I was sharing in this baby pool with some old friends, and we started talking about the crazy expensive cost in America. That was the first time that I understood how expensive it was. And as a Jewish communal professional, a long time, I was like, well, why isn't the Jewish community helping to pay for this ridiculous expense? And
Hmm.
that's where the idea came from. And this was now almost 10 years ago that
Amazing.
we started in Atlanta.
Who would think from the kiddie pool at the JCC to where you are now across the country and doing such an amazing service?
Well,
You
thanks.
know, yeah. And so if you could just explain a little bit, what are the primary services offered by JFF?
So since almost 10 years ago, I thought that money would solve all problems. And in fact, it doesn't. So we started off by trying to fundraise for fertility grants, which is still one of the primary prongs of our mission. But we also offer emotional support and education. So it's the
Okay.
money, education, and support are our three pillars for what we're doing to help individuals.
And it's really interesting to go from like the community you were in where it wasn't really talked about to really one of your missions is to open it up and expand for resources to allow people to share about infertility and learn more of how to get, assistance. So I think that's really cool, like full circle kind
Oh,
of.
I don't stop talking about it. When I was on my journey for my third child, which was probably the hardest 5 years, even harder because the first few years, like I didn't know enough to be disappointed. Like it was really challenging and hard, but
Mm,
trying to have a kid for when it was my third was probably the most stressful time of my
yeah.
life.
You don't realize if it comes easily, you don't realize how many people do struggle with it. So,
Mhm.
but it's not easy in the moment for, for
Oh,
any
yeah.
sort of words. So who can work with JFF? I mean, do you have to be Jewish? Do you have to be a couple? Can single people work with you? Who can
Sure.
come to JFF for resources and
So
help?
that's a great question. So while we are the Jewish Fertility Foundation, it's really important for us to be able to serve everybody, regardless of their religious background. So while our fertility grants are exclusively for the Jewish community, our emotional support and education is open to anybody, regardless of who they are, where they come from, their background. So
Okay.
our fertility grants, we accept the Reform movement's definition of who is a Jew. So we are working a lot with the interfaith population in the communities that we serve.
Okay.
And we have tons of single parents by choice. We work very closely with the LGBTQ plus community, really,
Awesome.
individuals on their paths to parenthood.
And I know it's not just about the money that you offer, but could you just elaborate a little bit on what the grants have been going towards currently and maybe what you foresee it going towards?
Yeah, good question. So we traditionally offer an IUI grant, which is hard that you're going through this, welcome to the infertility club. Here is $1,000. It is not based on financial need.
Okay.
It is, you're just starting this journey. It's kind of like a hug from the Jewish community. And then our more traditional grants are the IVF grant. So they are up to $10,000 and you're eligible to apply for up to two. So we know it might not work the first time and you're already laying out a lot of money. And we also partner, in addition to the actual grant that is distributed to the fertility clinic, we also partner with the fertility clinics to offer a discount of up to 20% off of that
Awesome.
big tag price. We also offer genetic screening through JScreen, free of
Okay.
charge.
Wow.
And yeah, we want to make sure we're bringing healthy babies into the world.
Absolutely.
And then we also partner to offer some discounts on pharmacies as well as laboratories. So
Okay.
that's the traditional approach. One of the dreams is to really make could we help people more significantly on their route if they're using a surrogate? That's something that has been on our mind for a long time. Right now, we offer a piece of it, but we know with the the crazy costs that I'm sure you talk about, we would like to offer more substantial grants. And of course, my job as CEO and our development team is to fundraise money in, money out. And that's what we're really trying to work on now to help more
So
people.
could somebody going through surrogacy use if they apply, use the IVF grant towards the IVF component of their surrogacy journey?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
we know you need egg, sperm, and a womb. We're
Right.
right now not paying for the womb, but we can help with the other areas as long as it's right now in conjunction with one of the fertility clinics.
Amazing. And just for our listeners to clarify, with a grant, is there an obligation to pay that back to JFF? I mean, directly pay back besides giving back in, time and kind?
No, it's not a loan. It is a grant. How are you paying it back? Well, we hope that you have a child and when you become an alumni, you pay it forward, right? You become a volunteer, you know,
Right.
give it back in those ways. But no, it is a grant, fully financed.
Understood. Okay. And when we go to your website, I saw, like a ticker of how many babies you've helped and like what are kind of your current numbers of how many families you've assisted to
It's
date?
crazy. I mean, it's crazy to think. So we are a community-based organization. So we started in Atlanta, Georgia, and unfortunately, like those first few years, that first year, nobody got pregnant. And we're like, doctors, what is going on?
Oh,
Which was a fluke. And since then, we have 191 babies
oh,
born
amazing.
throughout 10 locations. Now our 10th is in Miami. And we have given out more than $2.3 million in grants, loans, and discounts
That is
to
amazing.
313 fertility grants. And 76 women are pregnant right now. So
That's such a mitzvah. Congratulations for all that
thank
amazing
you.
work.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really, really, it's really unlike almost anything I've ever seen, especially in the Jewish community.
We're trying. I've been there. Many of us have
Yeah.
been there And I wish our services existed when I was going through everything.
So if you could just let our listeners know, where is JFF located to offer services?
Absolutely. We are currently in 9 locations: Atlanta, Cincinnati, Birmingham, Pittsburgh, Greater DC, Denver, Detroit, Cleveland, and now Miami.
Awesome.
We also are offering national services. So there are opportunities if you're outside of one of our hubs, you are able to educational wise and emotional support. There is an opportunity to really tap into what we're offering.
Yes, because I know just being involved with JFF and looking at your website, you have webinars and different kind of chat groups and support groups. So those are the kinds of things you're referencing if you're not within one of the locations of JFF.
Absolutely.
Yes. Is there like a newsletter or a way that people can follow you?
Absolutely. So we are on social media at Jewish Fertility Foundation, Facebook, Instagram, of course, LinkedIn as
Okay.
well. And yeah, if people just go to our website, Jewish Fertility Foundation, there is an opportunity to sign up for our monthly newsletter. Lots of great resources. One of the things that we notice on our Instagram lives that we kind of like this, what we offer, we bring in and speak with just amazing experts in so many different spaces
Awesome.
to offer valuable information on individual paths to parenthood. And
Very
you can
cool.
see it all recorded if you weren't able to come see it live.
That's great. Yeah. And so just taking a tiny step back with your different locations across the country, in order to be available for certain grants, do the potential parents have to be within a certain geographic range of your office? How does that work?
Absolutely. So that's just where we are today. I wish we could offer, money and funds to everybody
Of
everywhere.
course.
Right now, it is within those 9 locations that we're serving. You need to live in the metro area of the city. Yeah.
Okay, understood. And I noticed that you have a big event coming up. If you wanted to share with our listeners about your 10th year anniversary gala on January 14th, 2025.
Absolutely. And we just announced, we're kind of geeky like this. Elizabeth Carr, actually, you might see her up here in the Life magazine. She is the very first baby born in America through IVF. She is going to
Oh,
be our MC. We are celebrating
how
10
cool.
years of success and helping people grow their families. It's going to take place in Atlanta, Georgia on January 14th. It's a big deal. We're trying to get people to come into town and really celebrate the growth of helping bring so many babies into the world.
That's very exciting. Is it like a gala, a dinner? What type of
It's
format
a
of event?
gala. It's a Tuesday evening,
Okay,
and it's meant to be fun, like not another chicken dinner, like
right.
the chicken dinner.
Absolutely.
We do
Yes.
it the JFF way. It's classy, it's nice. We will have specific individuals speaking, but not too much.
Right.
And it's an opportunity, of course, we're a direct service organization helping people, but we also rely on fundraisers like this to support the growth of our organization.
Absolutely. And just to touch upon your new expansion into Miami, which is super exciting, I just wanted to take a quick moment to introduce your new member of JFF, who I know is just onboarding, but I know she's going to be an incredible resource to those located in the Miami area. And I hope I pronounced your name correctly, but I wanted to introduce Efrat Yuzefovich.
I'm honored to be here and take part in this beautiful mission. Very excited about our new location and just help the Jewish community here in the Miami area.
Yes, well, it's definitely a large Jewish population. Many people, unfortunately, suffer from the disease of infertility. So I know I'm personally just very excited that you now have a presence in South Florida. So for our listeners, what is the best way to contact and to learn more information about the Jewish Fertility Foundation?
So you can directly go on our website, the Jewish Fertility Foundation. And if you search for our Miami location on the website, you're going to have all my direct contact information.
Wonderful.
And I will be happy to help.
Thank you. And we will be happy to share the JFF's website on our show notes and any other direct links or contact information, because I think that just going to the website will provide a ton of information and how to follow what your events are that are coming up. So I will be happy to share all that information as well. And Elana and Efrat, thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing, and for Elana for creating JFF. It's just an amazing thing, and I appreciate your time so much.
Well, thanks for having us on. We appreciate it. And
Thank
yay,
you so
South
much for
Florida.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having us. It was
Yes,
great. Thank you.
welcome to South Florida. Welcome to Miami, as Will Smith says.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to you both.